roof rack is fully wired and fully mounted now. So it uses the stock locations. Those other studs that you see sticking up, that's where the drip rail little white plastic clips go. I went so long without having my drip rails on there that they kind of deteriorated. But yeah, that's it. Using the 3 factory mounting locations. Got the front, middle, and back. And these are using, as fasteners, it's M6 by 1 thread count. So you can pick up any of those nuts if you need them at really any hardware store. I got some at Lowe's. The ones with washers, those came off the Mercedes from somewhere. Those are like nice factory Mercedes nuts with washers pressed onto them. So those are pretty nice. I think those came off of a couple stock bumper removals. Yeah, the thread count works, and they've got nice big fat washers on them. So anyways, moving on back to the electrical, since the rack is all wired up. And I think we left off inside with the switches. They're mounted. It ended up fitting pretty darn nice. The 2 little, like, they're pretty much drywall screws. There is some nice metal inside this thing. So it takes a little pushing to get in there, but once it's in there, man, it's solid. So I figured out what I'm doing as far as the switches go, which you guys really can see pretty good. Alright, so this is going to be my top LED bar up front. Of course, these are rear lights to blind those people that have their brights on behind me. And also, if I need to see behind me backing up, night on the trail or something like that, and the reverse lights just aren't doing it. Fog lights are fog lights. Those are going to be the ones up front on top of the bumper where the stinger is, my big round ones. And the Sasquatch lights, those are going to be my side lights. Haven't figured out what to do with these 2 yet. These are probably going to be rock lights and winch power. I don't know, because I don't need to turn on my winch power. I think that's what it's supposed to be. It says winch power, but yeah, whatever. You can put whatever you want on there. Once I figure it out, I'll let you guys know what I'm going to put over there. Still don't have relays for these far right 2. So there's really nothing further to go on with those. If you hear me talking about wires 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is wire 1, 2, 3, 4. So just label them left to right. And I've got some these up here. So I already hooked the battery up to these last night just to double check which plug is which. So these are going to be my side lights. These are going to be the reverse. And this is obviously directly wired into the front light bar. So wires going from the interior to the exterior through our little piece of tubing there. I have 6 wires coming through, 3 of which I've got 1, 2, and 4, I think. Wires 1, 2, and 4. Focus on the wires. There we go. Wires 1, 2, and 4. So those coincide with switches 1, 2, and 4, because that's for the front light bar, number 1, The reverse lights number 2, and the Sasquatch lights number 4. I think I said that right. Yeah, 1, 2, 4. Switch number 3 is for these big ones up front, not the little ones. I'm still gonna have the little guys wired to come on with the one click on the light stick. So I just like having those on for, good visibility. Keeps people from running into this giant trash can. So this is gonna be wire number 3. Yep. The other two, this is for switches 5 and 6. They don't have a place yet. So what I'm gonna do is get all 6 of these wires and keep them together at least up to this point. So I'm gonna get some wire loom, put them around there, get them set to where I never have to mess with them again. This area is all nice and cleaned up, repainted the battery tray, and I'll be able to stick the battery in and actually run through this, test them, make sure they work, run them through the relays and switches and everything, because I haven't done that yet. I made sure the roof rack worked completely, just hooking it up to one of my dead batteries on the floor. Everything works good. So next, getting the wire loom on there, which I gotta get my big box down again because the little 1/4 inch wire loom that I used up on the rack here, it's good stuff, but it's not really big enough to hold more than 4 of the what size is this? 14 gauge. You can see it's kind of poking out some spots. I gotta fix that. I don't like seeing the wires hanging out. Yeah, it's a tight fit just for fitting 4 strands of the wire. See, it fits perfect with 2. 4's kind of packing it in. And then over here, I got to the point where couldn't fit the 4 wires plus the already shielded wire pair coming out of like that light, and so on and so forth going down the line. Yeah, I got some little spots I gotta fix, get the wires to stick back in. Yeah, other than that, should be pretty simple. All the grounds are gonna go directly to the ground here, which is wired directly to the battery. And all the lives, simple, just run these wires to the right length up there. So did I waste some wire? Little bit. If I would have been able to say that, I would have had enough red wire to finish the rack, but no big deal. Everything's gonna work out. So as I suspected, my little leftover piece of ground wire here that I ran down to my ground terminal, which is on the inside of the cab, coming from this ground terminal here, is a piece of leftover wire, and it is like an inch or two too short. You can see that little kink in it. That's from me trying to push the battery back. The battery fits in there, but it's got some pressure on the wire, and it doesn't let the battery sit in nice and tight like it should. But I did stick it in here so we could do an ops check of the system before we get everything, completely buttoned up. Let's check it out. So these are pretty low output LEDs. I do want the ability to kick these lights on without having the key in the ignition and having the whole entire ignition system turned on. This LED runs all the time and it doesn't really take up any power at all, but 6 more, I don't know, we'll have to find out. If it does end up being like a big parasitic draw on the system while the truck is sitting, I'll have to rewire these to be on a like an ignition source. So anyways, let's see about this light bar. Yeah, that's working. See about some rear lights? Yep, those are working. And we don't have this one wired in yet, but let's see about the side lights. Yeah. Love it when a good plan comes together. Now granted, that is running only on the 12 volts when the car's running. It runs at about 14, so everything will get a little bit brighter. Wires are nicely hidden. So this loom is my, these are my power wires running in this guy. This is my ground. And you can't see them at all. They're tucked in that seam. Pop the door open so you guys can actually see where it's at. Door's open, still can't see them. So there's this weather stripping. You just push them down in there as far as you can. Real nice like. There's no metal contact in there. Run them all the way up, and I'm gonna, of course, clean that up a little bit up there. Put all those wires in a nice loom so they don't look like junk. So next project is just fixing that ground. Gonna look at my scrounge up in my bin, see if I can't find a longer solution for that. If not, I'll just make another one real quick. It's not a big deal. And then get the battery sitting right. Tie these wires up somewhere. The two that aren't used yet, go ahead and wrap those up and stick them over there for further use in the corner. And then this guy, stick it in the loom, run it all the way up to the front, and that's the one that's going to be on these on switch number 3. Alright, so we've got a longer ground. It's not in the way anymore. Battery's sitting where it's supposed to, nice and tight. I'm painting the battery box cover, hold down, whatever the hell they call it. That's getting a fresh coat of paint, so it looks nice. And after talking to you guys a minute ago, made a consideration. I couldn't imagine a time when I'd actually need the lights on. Yeah, it's nice if the vehicle's sitting still to reach in and just turn the lights on. But does it justify the possibility of accidentally leaving the lights on and draining the battery? Cost-benefit analysis says no. So I do like my charger and little battery voltage monitor to be hardwired all the time. That way I can't bring my phone in my building, it works, so I like to leave it in the car charging. So that's always nice, that's why that's hardwired. But the lights, no reason to have them hardwired. So you can see battery was connected and they're off now. And with a turn of the key, boom, now they're on. So, and yep, everything still works. Didn't affect any of that. We're not pulling power off the ignition. The ignition is still going, or the power for all the lights is still going directly off of our big cable there. And now I've moved the power for the lights, or I'm sorry, the power for the light switch down to this guy. The other blue wire that's going to my amplifier from a sub. And this one's hot all the time. This one's ignition hot. So in case you guys are wondering, that's what that is. Easy way to do stuff. So yeah, our power is still 100% going through the same exact way, going from there to the relays out to the lights. Alright guys, we're out here testing these lights. It is dark as shit. No, that's not me covering up the camera. It is that dark. There's some lights out there. You can barely see through the woods. Other than that, it is pitch black. Start turning these things on. So here's the roof-mounted LED. pretty damn good output. Let's go with some rear lights. Can't see shit. Boom, now we can see back here. We can't focus, but we can see. We can't focus. Come on. You gotta be shitting me, thing. We're gonna focus. There's the lights. Hey! There we go. Damn phone is getting kinda old. Now for the creme de la creme. Sasquatch lights. That's just another field out there. The camera does a lot better picking up the light output with it just taking a picture. So that's all roof rack lights on. There's a little kind of blind spot here in the corner, but yeah, I don't really care. That's pretty damn sweet. I like them. I like them a lot. Pretty damn cool. I'm happy with that. Ah, it burns the eyes. Don't look at the bright light. I didn't turn the fogs on. I don't even know if these are gonna make a difference. Not with that light bulb on. That thing's just overpowering. So that's my actual headlight brights. Not bad at all. Pretty damn happy with the results. Let me know what you guys think.